Hi, I'm Sarah Noble, your host for the Modern Day Intuitive Podcast. For over 25 years, I've been on a spiritual journey, searching, learning, expanding, and growing. I've traveled the world, led by my heart, on a quest to know myself so that I can support others. This podcast was created from my deep desire to help you connect with your intuition and to inspire you to create a life where the impossible becomes possible and you live into your sacred dreams and desires. Thanks for being here and enjoy the show. Hello, my sweets. Welcome to an episode of Magical Moments. I'm excited to announce that the readings will be back next week, and we'll be alternating those every other week with magical moments in between. I also will be having some conversational magical moments episodes where I have guests on the show and we talk about a spiritual topic. So stay tuned for some of those coming your way. I also have a free self-paced mini course, Awakening Your Magic, that's available. I'm very excited about that. So check that out. There's a link in the show notes. And today I wanted to talk about this idea of service versus servitude. We're in a very challenging time in the evolution of the planet, and there are so many things that are coming to the surface that are needing our attention, that are here because they're just not working anymore for humanity and for the way life is unfolding. So sometimes I know this can feel really heavy. There's a lot of fear out there. There's a lot of scarcity thinking. There's a lot that pulls you away from your center, from your heart, and from really living and being present in your life. So I thought I would address it from this perspective of being in service to something versus servitude, which these words can become intermingled and a little bit distorted. So I thought if I kind of play them out for you the way I understand them, it can give you something to hold on to, something to move towards, something to utilize when you get caught in all that's happening in the world today, and give you a place to land and a place to come back to and a place where you feel you can actually do something. So for me, servitude is about being enslaved to something. It's all the shoulds, it's the obligations. The very word itself activates old wounding of when we were slaves, when we were servants, when we were not free to choose for our own life or be in our own power and sovereignty. And oftentimes that still plays out today in a much different way. We supposedly have our freedoms, and yet we now internally keep ourselves from our freedom. So service, on the other hand, for me is devotion. What am I devoted to? I find it's honoring, it's loving. I'm in service to a brighter future for humanity. I'm in service to spirit. I'm in service to opening hearts and diving deep into intuition. It's a devotion. It's a different frequency. It allows all of me to be present. It brings my heart forward. It changes the cellular structure within me because it brings this beautiful flow of devotional energy. So when you're struggling, it's super helpful if you have this place to come back to. What are you serving in this lifetime? What are you in devotion to? What are you here to help with as we evolve as a species on the planet? And really getting clear on that gives you this place to come back to where you're not just caught in the illusion, you're not being in servitude in your job, in your relationships, in all the places in your life where you show up in unconscious patterns. And I also bring this up because words carry so much significance. So by just making this small shift in how you believe those words exist and how you carry them inside you, suddenly things have this opportunity to get really clean and really clear and really available to you. And as I look at this idea of service more deeply, for me, it comes in layers. In the Andean traditions, the shaman serves their village, then their country, and then their planet, and then themselves. And by following this divine order, they always know that they are taken care of, that there's nothing to concern themselves with, that spirit is always holding them and allowing for abundance in their life because their service is bigger than their own smaller view of what's possible when we only focus on ourselves. So as I show up in service to you, to my clients, to the world, I land in this beautiful place where I'm held, where I'm supported, and where possibility opens. And it's also very important that I serve myself in ways that support me. I have a spiritual mentor. I have a business and shamanic coach. I have a body worker. I am in a dream school program. I'm in a program for expanding my reality. I feel that our job here or our purpose here is to grow and expand and evolve, not just our own selves, but everybody. We're all connected. We're all in this together. And we're reaching a point where we have to remember this. The level of separateness that we are living in is profound. We really, really have become so separate from spirit and from each other. And all this division energy is hurting the Mother Earth, Gaia. She's hurting. She wants something different for us. And that is evident in the things that are happening around us. So other ways I bring in support and bring in a higher frequency are I'm very, very diligent about the content that I watch and I allow into my field. I'm super careful about the amount of screen time and the amount. I never watch the news. I think you guys know that. I hear what I need to hear when I need to hear it. And other than that, it's something that I just step away from because I don't actually believe that it's an accurate description of who we are and what is really going on for us. And so stepping away from a lot of these big collective programs that are running in our energetic fields, in the consciousness that we all share, is hugely important on this journey of really coming into yourself. It's learning how to source your energy differently rather than source it from outside and from all the things that are put in our path that we believe will create vitality for us. It's realizing that the true energy comes from the earth, that deepening with nature, that deepening with ourself, with our energetic body, with our understanding of how energy works, and really allowing ourselves to come back to that core source of energy that we have had access to, and yet we have become separate from. It might be a little shocking to say this, yet I do believe that all the ways we numb, all the ways we're distracted, they are servitude. Who are you serving in those moments? Are you really serving your higher self when you are binging on Netflix or only making it through the day to get to that glass of wine after work? It's bigger than that. It's more than that, right? Who are you here in service to? How are you honoring yourself as a divine creative being? The clearer you get on that, and the more you step into your heart and begin to allow the gifts inside you to come forward into the world, the more love you create, the more purpose you step into, the more aliveness, the more of you that comes forward, and you begin to live in this frequency that is so very different to the frequency of servitude. You now are in devotion, and devotion just feels like this big, expansive beautifulness for me. And so I share that with you. I give that to you and encourage you. Seek assistance, seek support on this journey. It's a beautiful one. It's a wild ride, and I love it. I love every moment of it, and you can too. Namaste. Thank you for being here today and making your personal and spiritual growth a priority in your life. To learn more about connecting with your dreams and your intuition so that you can create a life full of possibilities, visit me at www.sarahnoble.com and see how we can create magic together. A big thank you from my heart to yours for making the planet a better place for us all.